All right, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fantastic Thursday morning? We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and a few other assets this morning. We do have a market moving today that has sufficient liquidity. It's called MUSDT. Not exactly sure what this is, but it has been pumping for the last several days here. This thing is up pretty good. After about 6 days, roughly 200 and something percent. I checked on the news. The last thing this thing's had news, according to TradingView, was October the 3rd of 2024. That's it. One headline, not really anything else to talk about as far as why it's pumping. So the only thing that I could say is a short squeeze. This morning it was trading down in here. I went ahead and put up a measured move so that way people wouldn't try to short it before it was done. Obviously, this is a basing reaction here. You typically don't want to be trying to short something that's pumping when it has a basing action like that. So the measured move was up here at 125. You can see it broke up through the measured move, pushed lower, and then ran up into massively overbought up into 134. So it is moving. If you're going to be trading it, please take your risk level down on this, because it's moving. Like this one minute candle right here is several percents, like 3% on a one minute move. Just make sure you're being very risk averse if you're trying to short it. It still looks to me like it wants to go higher. It's failing to roll over. If you compare this to something like what happened yesterday or the day before on TAUSDT, it was pumping really hard and then absolutely reversed very hard. This is not doing that. This is not reversing very hard. It is reversing easily and then finding support and running up. So it might be a buying op, might be a selling op. Who knows? No news, and not many people are talking about it. Not exactly sure what it is. So there's that. Bitcoin over here found resistance yesterday at the 786 of the previous week's range. We were looking for it to run up to around the 382 of August's range. It did not do that. Found resistance yesterday at the 786, just above the 236. So this does signify that Bitcoin for the month of September is a little bit weak in comparison to last month. Right now, you're trading above the current September volume weighted average price, and this needs to be moved over to today. There. And currently under the daily VWAP. So resistance held. You've seen a nice move lower. This is probably going to be a selling op, depending on what risk markets do today. VIX gapped up yesterday. Here is your VIX, gapped up, had a deep push, not yesterday, sorry, Monday or Tuesday, above the yearly opening range, and then closed back on the yearly opening range. Yesterday we gapped up again and then sold off all day. So risk markets are still bullish. They look like they're trying to hold support right here. Day open and then Monday's low. This trend line is a higher low. It's from August 1, then a higher low formed in August. This is your higher August low. So that's the trend line that we're currently watching. Yesterday it did reject it a little bit. Traded up into it, rejected, went down to the previous week's low, found support, and rallied back up, making a fresh day high. And then essentially this is what we got right now. Just chilling sideways, seeing if it wants to hold support or not. So that's that. Obviously, gold has broken out, moving to the upside. We were expecting it to do this. It's doing it. So we'll see what it does. Moving on. IWM and all that stuff looks okay. So positions. Yesterday we were looking at Pingu USDT. We were watching it up in this area. We wanted to see if it would push up into the 236 of the previous month's range. It was unable to do so. It found weakness after making a fresh high of day, was struggling to trade above this swing high, So this is where we look to manage our risk on the short. So we are currently holding Pingu short from yesterday, still holding it. We're trading now below the September VWAP on Pingu, so it does look good. It does look like it wants to go a little bit lower. And then, of course, this needs to be moved as well. Oh, wait, no, that's perfect. That's today. So, yeah, we'll see if Pingu finds support down here or if it's able to break down. You do have the September open just under price. Generally, when you break out above a monthly open like this and then you set a monthly high on the first retest is generally a buying opportunity. The Pingu today, if it trades down into September, you might want to watch it, see how price acts down here. If it struggles to break under, then it might be a buying op. So we're just kind of in a position here right now to see what happens here. I've not taken profits on this trade just yet. I will manage this trade today depending on what it does at the open. As far as the crypto markets are concerned, pretty much the whole watch list is red. So coming into the open today, it looks like crypto wants to push a little bit lower. Here is that watch list. Ethereum down 1%. It found resistance as well. We'll look at that. And then you can see nothing's really down big. Fartcoin's only down 3%. LPT's down 5%. And then TA is down 17%. But it was just so absolutely crazy yesterday. It was almost an impossible trade. But once again, MUSDT trying to hold support here. This is the previous 4-hour swing high. So this is probably where you would want to mitigate risk from if you're looking for shorts. I don't know if I'd want to be buying it way up here. I mean, this thing has been overbought on the 4-hour time frame since September the 3rd. Yesterday, it's a little bit risky. It's a very risky buy. It's a very risky sell. It's just a risky trade, but it's moving, and we like to trade things that are moving. Here's the resistance that we found on Ethereum yesterday. Traded up to weekly supply. Here's that weekly supply level. So you can see it's been acting as resistance for multiple days. This candle right here looks like it's going to head back to the upside. It's what it looks like it wants to do anyways, right? So if you're watching Ethereum today, here is your yellow 21 exponential. It is a little bit difficult to see, but it comes in right around 43.73. That's going to be under September's open. Once again, September's open is the level that everybody's going to be watching here. See if it wants to act as support. We traded under it briefly, then came into the London session where the low currently was called. All right, we go down to the 30-minute. You can see the 100 EMA down here trying to act as support. So I like Ethereum higher as long as it's not closing candles under this. If it breaks down and starts closing 30-minute candles under this, then it could go lower. But if it doesn't, then I think it's a long. I mean, depending on what risk does. Once again, that's what we're going to be looking at. So here goes M getting ready to liquidate day highs. These things are just so freaking dangerous. So dangerous to trade. When you're trying to short things that are running to the top, when they're running up and you're trying to short them, you don't want to take more than just a few chances at that. But the bell's coming here in about 15 minutes, so I would assume it's wanting to run the highs. Good morning, Lifestyle Media. Good morning, Peter, VT Billions. What's happening? Brian, everybody. Having a good day this morning. I'm going to pull M up on the trading platform. Here is the Pingu short real quick. Get that pulled up. Where is Pingu? There's Pingu. So Pingu down 4%. So short position up here, right at that swing low or that swing high. It's just easier to manage risk from that point. and then it's rolled over, gave us a pretty nice expansion to the downside. Here's the unrealized gains on the day. We've done really good this week. So, I mean, we're just knocking it out of the park almost on a daily basis, it seems. Yeah, I'm going to manage this. I want to see if it's able to stay on the lows. If it struggles to make fresh lows, then I'll just take 2/3 of the position off. Stop's already pretty much situated, so I don't really need to move the stop. But let's pull M back up because this thing is up 28% and it's moving. So I want to see if it wants to run the high of day before I do anything with it. All right, I don't necessarily want to. I did take an attempt on a short when it got up to 125. So once it got up to 125, I did take the short and it did get stopped out. But I didn't risk more than $30 on the trade, so it literally, as soon as I took it, it was stopped. Right? So basically came up into here on this chart, came up into it, I took the short, and then 2 minutes later I'm out. When it's moving this much, it doesn't take much to move up to stop out, especially when you got leverage applied. And I'm using 20x leverage. It just makes it much easier for me to manage my risk that way. I can throw up $100 worth of risk, only risk 20 of it, 30 of it, something like that. If it gets stopped, wait a bit, see what goes on, look for another area to put on more risk. I wanted to take the short at the measured move just to make sure that they weren't, just trying to run the highs and then slowly move it up to the measured move. Right into here, I thought I was going to miss it, and sure enough, tagged to 100, boom, right up there it went. Then I threw it on with a limit order. Do not trade this with a market order. Very thinly traded. So you'll get filled terribly on markets. You got to get in on limits, get out on market. All right. So that's basically what we're sitting here doing this morning. Just waiting around for a position. The XRP is probably something that I would keep on watch. If you don't want to trade like the risky big mover, where is XRP? As it's casually setting at 0%. So you're not up on the day, you're not down. You're just setting right at the day open pretty much. So this would be something that you could potentially watch today for a trade. As you can see here, it is pretty weak. Trading under the 21 exponential on a daily time frame. That's going to be last week's VWAP. I haven't moved that over yet. I haven't even put on a September open on XRP. I just noticed that because it's not up or down, right? It's neutral. So this might be something we keep on watch for today. And that is old 4-hour res. We don't need that. We're trading above it. Same scenario. We got 4-hour res here. I'll be watching the previous 4-hour candle swing high. And if it fails to run above that, or gets above it and then fails, potentially look to mitigate risk there. It's not far from the day high. Day high here. So if it gets up here and above it, then clearly it's probably wanting to run the day high. So we'll leave it be, let it do that, and then see if it snakes its way back under that 4-hour swing. Damn it, that coffee's hot. All right. And as you can see, it hasn't done anything pretty much all morning. You had your London session open down here. It was a move higher. They didn't sell it in Asia. It was after midnight before it actually moved lower. So there you go. Yeah, London session here, called the low of day. And now you're chopping sideways. So as far as daily biases go, it is weak on the day. On the day time frame, it's weak, right? You're under the 21. On the weekly, the 21 is down here. So on the weekly time frame, this is just consistent with a pullback. A longer time frame, it looks bullish. Daily time frame, it looks a little bit weaker. It's definitely not bearish because the moving average structure says you're still bullish. You tested the 100 on the daily, and that's where you found support. So it does look like it's looking for a 3-bar pattern to the upside. Today looks like it wants to be a breakout up day. And since you are trading above the September open, I don't see why not, right? Why it couldn't go higher. I think it all depends on what Bitcoin does, as Bitcoin is the one that pretty much gives everything its bias. Ethereum down 1%, Book of Meme down 3%, Fartcoin down 3%, Bonk down 4%, Pingu down 4%. So it looks like the real only opportunity would be on XRP and that M crypto. I don't think there is any more opportunity on this. It is still moving. This looks like a pump and dump. I don't think that's what's happening on the M asset. I think what is happening on the M asset right now is a short squeeze. It's up 32% right now. 32%. Let's get the measured move back up. It's not exactly what it was. It was 125, right? So this is actually up at 130. So we'll just mark it here. Oh, alt, dude, alt. Actually, I'll just watch this 4-hour swing. The original measured move was 125. There's not a whole, I mean, there is volume building up now. There wasn't a lot this morning when it originally pushed up in here, but they're coming in on it now. It's a risky short before the bell. And this is all-time highs. So there's really nothing up here. I don't really see a good structure. I mean, it's only a couple months old, so I guess, I don't know if this will even work. Let me see what it looks like. I guess it does. It does fit a little bit. All right. So, yeah, fib extension from the entire move. Gives you some levels to look at, but I don't love those kind of levels. You're just up at all-time highs. You just have to treat it like that. And then finally, Tesla. Tesla did bounce yesterday, but it's not doing anything pre-market here. It's trying to hold support intraday. and I would love to see it hold support intraday. There's no pre-market or post-market support. Support's all the way down here at 333, but the 100 exponential right in here at 336. So yeah, maybe if it can stay above yesterday's close, it could be looked at as a buying opportunity. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, it looks okay for a buy. All right. Okay, so basically what I'm looking at here is we broke down testing the 21, then we gapped down on the next day, tested the 21 for resistance and rejected, and then gapped up, tested the previous day's open and traded up. All right, and then ended up closing strong on the day yesterday above the previous day's swing high. So it looks bullish. Or it looks okay to be a buyer, I should say. So if it's trading under 334, we don't like it to the upside. I'm still holding longs on Tesla. I think Tesla year end can get up to 390. That's your yearly opening range. I think if it can break out of May's range, then it could get up there easily. Similar to what gold's doing right now, breaking out of a range and then running. Gold is pulling back. If we go look at the GLD intraday chart, you can see yesterday it did end up pulling back, and then pre-market it's pulled into support, starting to move up a little bit. We took a trade on this yesterday. Our target on GLD is going to be 340 up here. We bought the 335s, sold the 340. Strike puts out in December. So we got plenty of time for gold to get up to our bullish target. Plenty of time. Not as much time on the Tesla trade, though. We're under the 45-day mark on Tesla because there's 43 days to expiration. So now, you know, the each day goes by, the theta decay will become more and more aggressive. Looks like M is trying to just basically chop around here. Pingu making fresh lows. Yeah, Brian, what you sent me in the Discord on the DMs, I don't know what that is, bro. I mean, you're sending me pictures that make no sense to me. I get it. I mean, I'm assuming you're in someone's course or something and posting some of their proprietary data. I'm not sure. But none of that means anything to me. Like, I pretty much already got the strong resistance and supply zones on the S&P. So I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you're asking me a question. I don't know if you're just saying, hey, check this out. Or asking what my thoughts are. My thoughts is they're just getting option data and then using certain strikes as resistance or support levels based on gamma. Gamma squeezes do happen. When you buy options, whoever's selling you those options has to then go and protect that position with the underlying asset. That's what causes gamma squeezes. But a gamma squeeze is nothing more than a bullish or a bearish squeeze. It's a short squeeze or a long squeeze. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We got the bell coming up in 3 minutes. There is news today. You got ISM Manufacturing. Oh, services. We had manufacturing the other day. We got services today. ISM services today. Last month was 50.1. They're forecasting 51. And 31 minutes, we'll get the actual data. 51. So forecasters are assuming that ISM will be better. If we launched the chart, I shouldn't have launched it on this. Why don't they have services data? Whatever. Okay. We'll go back to that then. All right. Good morning. Bell in a couple, or one. Bell coming up in 1 minute. S&P still testing the daily open for support. VIX is back under yearly open at 1622. Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart looks like it wants to go lower. So this looks like just a standard pullback into the previous range candle, since it found resistance at the 786 and gave you 3 bearish trending candles to the downside. You would probably be looking to be a seller at or around 111, 194 on Bitcoin. So if it comes back up and tests this level and then fails, then that would be where I would manage my risk to the downside on Bitcoin. And that's just because of yesterday's resistance. As far as being a buyer, you would be watching 4-hour support, as you've got September's volume weighted average price coming at 110,358. If you wanted to look at liquidation levels, I got 1 week pulled up. Let's refresh. See what you currently have working here on the week. And it looks like there's a big chunk of liquidity running down to 109.8. Then it gets a little thin, but then another big chunk all the way to 108.8. So 108.8 puts you all the way down here. So if you do break below the 4-hour support and this VWAP, it would be a clean run down to that first big chunk of liquidity. As far as upside liquidity goes, you have nothing until you get up to 112.6. 112.6. That's all the way up here. So just above yesterday's swing high. That would be like a longer term swing trade target, but today's Thursday. Coming back over here to M, we're going to see if we break above the swing high. And if it does and then fails, I will take one more short attempt on it, based on the fact that this thing has literally been going straight up all week. And XRP's pushing down. So XRP looks like it wants to break down, but you went into the consolidation after seeing a nice move up. It's anybody's guess as to what XRP does. I would assume it's going to follow Bitcoin. I really just wanted to pull up the M chart on a bigger time frame here, so we can look at it. There was 1 day of pullback. 1, 2, 3, 4, pullback, 6, 7. So 7 days this thing has been running. Today is the biggest day. So if it's going to pull back, I would love to see it happen today. And you can see volume is building up. You are way above overbought, or not overbought, but overvalued for the daily range. I mean, it is overbought. This thing got so overbought on a 1 minute time frame, it got up almost to 90. And it's been really hanging out above the 50 pretty much all morning. So the one time it broke under the 50, the sellers could not keep it down. That's concerning for shorts. Generally, you want to look for shorts when the buyers can't keep support. You know what I mean? Like, not when they're doing this. It makes it a very difficult short. And then there's the fibs. So next fib, 1.14 is up at 145. So if it runs and it continues to run, this could be the next area of resistance, but it's in fresh breakout all-time high territory. Generally, resistance has to be built over time, or you just have to run out of demand, which is pretty much what happened on TA yesterday. You run out of demand and it's just see you later. Not yesterday, the day before yesterday. Yesterday, TA was choppy all the way up until noon. It was a very difficult trade. This one will be a little bit easier. TA was moving a lot more also. TA was moving 10% in 1 minute. That's literally impossible to trade with leverage. If you have a stock or one of your favorite assets, just drop it in the chat and I'll take a look at it. I don't know why that says Tesla is up. It shouldn't be. There you go. GLD pushing. Let me get Tesla up. So it tested support like we discussed before the market even came open. Hopefully that's the level you were watching to be a buyer. We said it looks good for a long. If you did take profits, you're up a couple bucks already on the position. I mean, that's a nice win with options. Come on, push up there. Don't play hard to get. I don't want to just go ahead and take the short here because knowing that it can push up to high of day, it makes it, almost a guaranteed loss, as that would be where my stop would have to go. So if it fails to do so, I can't do anything till it gets back down into this area, as this is where the support is most likely to form, if it's going to form support. So it's okay if we miss out on this little bit of price action. It's a 3% move. I get it. It won't be nailing the top. I also get that. But the way this has been acting all day, why would it not go up there? It's been able to do it pretty much all morning long. Break high after high after high. I'm not really seeing emotion hit this chart yet. It's almost like a controlled demolition, like they're destroying shorts. Bitcoin might find support down here. Give it a minute. We just had the bell open. Greetings, everyone. What's up, Tanko? Other big movers, the reason I'm not trading them is because they don't have as much liquidity. The ICE USDT is up 25%. It's only got 276,000 tokens traded. Launchcoin USDT's up 19% on the day, 760,000. And then Mori USDT, MORI, 19.2%, 187,000. Those are so thinly traded, you're going to get really shit fills. Pump USDT, not pump.fun. It just says pump USDT, 4.5 million. Trading up at 16%. And then Nero is moving up the board right now as we speak. Moving up the board. Here you go. So I just have my 24-hour change toggled on to where it's showing me the leaders on the day. Mori's moving up and down. There's Mori. Very thinly traded. This is, yeah, hard to get good fills when an asset's trading that thin. But there's your pump USDT, 4.5 million traded. It's up 16%. Jelly. This was on the list yesterday. So it's up another 15% today. Another thinly traded asset. And then Take was also on the list yesterday. It's still up today. So yeah, these things are pumping for whatever reason. Let me check if that pump USDT is pump.fun. Yeah, it could be because there's only two. There's pump USDT and then pump BTC USDT. So it's got to be the pump USDT. That's got to be the pump.fun. Here we go. We're about to run the Hive day on MUSDT. I don't know why MUSDT wasn't up there. I guess it's because I have it pulled up. It's actually the biggest mover on the day. It's up 31%. That was not quite a liquidity run. We'll try to set limit at 133,370. Wait a second. Let me get it. A run above the high could push it up into the 138 easily. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant about just throwing out a limit here before the liquidation. Maybe I'll set that at 138. Let's do that. Let's go 138 and just throw out the limit. Limit set 138. Limit sell. There was the liquidation. I'm going to move it down to where price is trading. It's probably a mistake, but we'll take a mistake. It's okay. We're doing just fine. Let me get you up there. You can see we want to set this. We're in with 194, so 10% would be about 19 bucks. So we want to do 20. And you can see how close that stop is with a 20% stop loss. Now that's 20% on my position. $194 with 20x leverage. RSI is not overbought yet. That is scary. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a take profit out. Oh, I can't without moving that stop. I don't want to exit the entire position. Well, here, let's just throw a crazy number out there, like 300% return. So this will be the second chunk and fail if it stops me. First one I did before the stream started. It doesn't seem like a lot of money. I get it, but it doesn't take long for these things to add up when you're using leverage. Like, look at that. That's $600 of profit on that trade. Over 100% return. Not a bad day's work. Not really seeing volume build up here. I mean, it did put in a new block, and that block is more selling than buying, but that's to be expected. As anybody who sold here, their stop loss is going to be up here, but that would be a buying order being filled, a buying order. So these sells are profit takers. Just if you bought down here, you threw your limit sell up here, right? To get out right at the high of day, you trigger that. So it's not a lot. I like to see this spike hard. I want to see like big orders happening or none at all. I don't like to see this. Doesn't look great. Looks like it ain't done. But that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so we've triggered the swing high. And 3 minutes have gone by and we've gone nowhere. If this was going to be a liquidation break, I want to see that happen pretty quick. Doesn't have to be really quick, but I would love to see at least volatility. You're not even seeing volatility up here. This looks like it wants to push higher. In the middle of something. All right. Ugh, that got me on the stop out as I was texting. So that took me out. So here it goes. Let's see where it runs. Keep an eye on these blocks here because each time it goes up, it's going to open up a new block of volume. We want to see what's going on. As of right now, it's just buys. So it's literally a squeeze. These are shorts being squeezed. One minute goes up, liquidates. Second minute, not reversing the whole move. I expect when it does come, it'll come fast and it'll be difficult to get in. If it even comes. I mean, this thing might just pump up and up. There's nothing slowing it down all day. Hasn't been slowing it down all week. So I would love to see what's actually happening on this. Let me see if I can get Google up on the other monitor. Give me another tab over here. And I'll look it up. Find out what is going on. See what Grok has to say about it. Good morning, Janet's thoughts. How are you? So, launch announcement on August 21st. MetaMask, a leading Web3 wallet, unveiled its native stablecoin MUSD, set to launch initially on Ethereum and Linea blockchains. This move is aimed at enhancing on-chain payment systems, positioning MUSD as a game changer for decentralized finance, DeFi transactions. Market sentiment posts on X from August 26th and September 3rd indicate bearish sentiment for MUSDT, trading referred to as MUSDT in some contexts. Technical indicators like the money flow index showing overbought conditions and declining cumulative volume delta. Declining cumulative volume delta suggests weakening buy pressure and potential price exhaustion. Kittens. I don't know if he's joking. Are you making fun of me? Buy pressure and potential price exhaustion. Kittens. Traders on X noted sell pressure dominating with volume fading. So this is essentially just a short squeeze. Like I said, absolutely 100%. Here, I can pull this up. I have cumulative volume delta. So I'm not sure what they're referring to. Okay, I'm assuming it's on a time frame, but it doesn't suggest the time frame. So there was negative cumulative volume delta on that day. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Okay, so through here you had negative cumulative volume deltas on Monday. It was negative all day on Monday. But you really didn't do anything until the Tuesday candle opened. 30 minute. So yeah, same thing. Tuesday had a spike up and then you put in negative volume deltas. Wednesday, it's a short squeeze. It's literally squeezing shorts. This is the only technical indicator anybody's got to basically call a top on this thing. Right now, it does not suggest we should be selling it, but the cumulative volume delta isn't always right. Now, to be clear, if you shorted this here at high value area on Tuesday, when you got the signal of negative cumulative volume delta, you were able to make a little bit of money if you didn't get stopped out there. It's not suggesting that right now. Let's look at the 5 minute. 5 minute chart says it is super bullish. Same for the 1 minute. 36 says it's negative. 30-second chart says negative volume, cumulative volume delta, but here since 9:45 it has been pushing up. So this is bullish or more bullish than bearish. So you would have expected to see price roll over through this period when you based out. It did not do that. Instead, we spiked. So it's probably going to run out of steam. The problem is going to be getting positioned so you can actually capture it. So maybe drop the leverage or drop the position size. I leave that choice up to you on which to drop. We don't look at divergence because divergence has to happen. This is an oscillating indicator. So the way that it prints itself mathematically means that it has to, at some point, give you divergence. Cumulative volume delta on this spike is bullish. starting to look a little bit better. Remember, the 1 minute, every other time frame on this thing is super bullish. Every single one. You're well above the zero. It's only on the 30-second chart where you're under the zero. So that could be a little bit of divergence in itself. So maybe wait until the top shows itself. Look for a clear and obvious rejection and then look to jump in. And maybe you catch it when it pulls back. We are getting our move on Penguin. It is pushing down into fresh lows. We're getting ready to come into the September Open. I want to add an alert there just so that way I know what's going on. All right. I'm going to go in with a smaller position than I did earlier so that way I can add to it upon liquidation or jump out, depending on if it continues to rock and roll. All right, perfect. There's your spike, and it's bullish. That's not really what you want to see. You want to see these big negative candles. At least that's what people that trade this indicator look for, right? It is still just an indicator, mind you. You can't see, like this volume delta indicator does not see volumes that are happening off exchange. It only sees exchange data. Data the exchange allows. So you could still have big buyers doing big buy things and you wouldn't see it. I can't imagine someone would want to buy it after a 7-day 300% rally. But we got in with a very small position size. If it starts to show weakness here, I'll add to it. If it continues to block up like this or base up like this, then I don't want to be holding shorts. Yeah, there's just no volatility to the downside. And we know people are selling it. Just profit takers. Retail has been selling it. Here, I'll show you. So here's what retail's been doing. This is me just trying to get people to stop shorting it. Open short again. First target 065. That was 2 days ago. 2 days ago it will go to 1. Good call. It did do that. Open short again. First target 059. So that's 2 different times. And then this person shorting also at 59.50. Yeah, you gotta wait until it gives you at least a little bit of signal or play it safe. That's what's keeping it moving to the upside. Tesla looks like it's not really getting to go there. It's went right back down to the entry. This is why I always take profits when I get the move in my direction. Still, that's not very volatile to the downside. Okay, we might be able to add to a bounce. We want to add in a bounce, not add during the push. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin did put in a fresh day low, but it's bouncing from the fresh day low. It's testing 4-hour support right now, Bitcoin is. ES made fresh daily high. VIX is making fresh daily lows. 1604 right now on the VIX. IWM pushing up fresh day highs. Dollar pushing up. Let's see if we get a bounce here on the 50. We are bouncing. I don't like those underneath wicks. What does Delta look like? So this is kind of what you want to see here. If you're using this indicator, give us a bounce. We want to see it reverse right in here, adding on the bounce. See what I mean? Like, this cumulative volume delta says that it's still weak, and look at what a reaction you got as far as bullish candle wise. Crazy. Crazy stuff. It did not stop at the 21. Very bullish. Bounced right off the 50, right off the 1272 extension. The old day high. We are starting to see more and more profit taking come into play here. I like this reaction. This is good. I like this reaction right here. This is good. So now I can set a stop up at 138.58. I like the reaction. Whether or not it gets any follow through is a whole nother story. But if you're going to put in a big reversal candle like that, I would love to see it be sold right back off. So this does suggest that people are still buying this thing. So this will be my last attempt on it. I will wait until it either rolls over or just leave it alone. Because like I said, a lot of them are pumping today. It's not just this thing. You have a brand new one pumping up 28% right now. FPHY USDT, only 2.7 thousand coins traded. So that is a super low float. Just by you jumping in with $100 could literally move price on something like that. Because it's like 0.008 on its worth. FI USDT. We want to see big red candles come in here on this. Let's pull up FI USDT and see if we can even pull it up. BitGet. Yeah, it's pumping right now, but 1 minute chart, you're just getting these things. Volume is just now coming into this. You can affect price on this. Be careful. Super thin, super dangerous. This might actually work for a few days because retail is going to clearly be looking at some kind of descending trend line here. We just got the alert on Pingu, so we're pushing lower. That's good. So yeah, this might actually run for a day or two. You're right into D-Res right now. For something like this, I would probably wait for like a 50 test or something like that. Let it base out and then look to be a buyer. If you want to participate in it, it's the first day of the rally. It just started happening. There is no news, not on TradingView. No news on this. Buy USDT. Will it pull it up for me? I can only trade 2,500 of them. Max order size 2,500 PHY. I hate when the exchange does that. That's probably why it's pumping, if other exchanges are doing something similar. So here on MW, we did get some volatilities. This is okay. I would like to see volatility, but I do not like to see it basing up. It's better when I'm seeing bigger price swings on the 30-second chart than stuff like this. As more and more people are starting to get involved up here. It's crazy. At any second, this thing could spike off the chart. So make sure your stop is set. All right, so I'm gonna leave Phi alone since I can't trade it. I mean, I can, but I'm not gonna just. 2,500 just doesn't seem like it would be worth it. I guess it would if it spikes up to $1. But there's no news on it. It's super thin. 2.82K. Like, ugh, no. Yeah, this thing's barely trading, so I'm going to put M back up. We know this is being traded with millions of tokens. This is what we want to see. Millions, not thousands. Check out Rose USDT. Is it pumping now or has it already pumped? It's not actually pumping. It's dumping. Right this second, anyway. Yeah, Rose USDT looks rough. It looks bearish. Very bearish. Yeah, it looks like it looks done. I mean, there's support down in here, obviously. I wouldn't want to be a seller right now today because it's into support potentially. but I wouldn't be a buyer either. Definitely would not be a buyer on this. If it bases out down here, then you can be a buyer. You want to see it base out for multiple days and just trade in a small range. You know what I mean? Something like that. Then you could potentially be a buyer. Not while it's trending. When you're making fresh low after fresh low after fresh low, you don't really want to be a buyer on that. And that's Rose. Not seeing volatility on the 5-minute. That's scary. And still really nothing here on the cumulative volume delta, which was the indicator that got all the sellers hitting it, right? In the first place. Calling divergences. Yeah, a lot of them are cooling off. Like all the top 3 cryptos that were up well over 20% have mostly all chilled out a little bit. So Fi is up 27 still, but there's nobody trading that thing. Maybe if it keeps pumping, it'll pull in more liquidity. But as of right now, it's not really. 2.86K. It was just at 2.85K. Not many people are trading it. Nero, Neiro, ETH, USDT, up 17%, 7.8 million, and it's moving up the leaderboard. Oh, let's leave this here. Let's go over here. Yeah, so it's just now starting to pump. Very thinly traded, man. What is that? Does this have news? September 11th, 2024. No news. If it's pumping on news, we can buy it. If it's just pumping to be pumping, it's too dangerous to buy. It's like a pump and dump. Oh my gosh, people are jumping on the sell, huh? Or buying highs. Okay, so M is not falling over here. This is not a short. We're probably going to get stopped. This is not a short when it's basing out like that, failing to roll over. This is not good. Not good at all. Not what we want to see. All right, so I'm going to get out and leave this one alone before it turns. I'm not even going to let it hit my stop. This thing needs to roll over, and I mean it needs to roll over soon. Here, I'll just pull my stop down. Let me see. There's no point in setting in a stop with a fresh high day. We'll just take another, say, $16, $15 loss on it and be done with it. Because we're doing good on the Pingu trade. There's no point in eating a full $30. It's not doing what we want it to do. When we're looking to get short something, we want to see big bars. We want to see this kind of price action. We're not seeing that. We're seeing base price action. I mean, you can buy it if you want to. It's just too overdone for me to get involved. If this was the first day and there was news, I would absolutely be buying something like this. no news, and you're 7 days into the rally. Very dangerous. Nero's pushing, no news. I've never seen perpetual swaps gap down like that. That's crazy. All right, so didn't get filled on the stop, but was very close. One more spike will get us. And Bitcoin down 1.6%. Bitcoin's actually pushing lows. Daily lows. Monday's midpoint acted as resistance on the S&P 500. I wasn't paying attention, so I was unable to get that fill. But right up to Monday's mid where it reversed, and now you're back down to the open. Bitcoin broke below 4-hour support. Like I said, with this structure, you would want to be short going into today on Bitcoin. And the short's paying off. We can pull, let me get Pingu up over here, just so I can keep my eyes on it. Yeah, that's what you want to see. Boom. Love it. This is not what we want to see. Can't get them all. Can't win them all. But we're almost up to $700 profit on Pingu. So the 90 or so dollars we lost on this, the nothing burger. It's crazy that the 50 EMA on a 1 minute's holding support on this thing. I think if it were to break, it would probably give us a pretty good size move to the downside. The problem is it doesn't want to look, it doesn't want to break. Originally, I had my stop all the way up here, so when it started to push through here, I was like, screw it, I'm just going to bring it down because this is bullish price action, not bearish. I mean, if the indicator gets down into this area, that'll be like the true testament of how strong it really is. If you just like pull it out, you can see how this is a 1 minute chart, but you can see how the 40, like if you put a Alt H, a line up here like this, right through here was the first time it actually broke down through there and got some continuation. Then it went right back to overbought and then kept going. So the longer it bases like this, a spike down to here could cause it to rip right through our stop. So here we go. Bitcoin found a fresh low day and is bouncing. I don't think Bitcoin has any influence over this whatsoever. I just like to keep my eye on what's going on for the Pingu short. We had a very good detailed discussion on Pingu yesterday, so we were either going to trade Pingu yesterday if it failed to make fresh highs above our risk point, or wait for today to make a fresh daily high liquidation break and then jump in on the short, looking for yesterday's price action to be a trap. That was the plan on Pingu. So there shouldn't be any reason why nobody, Everybody that was listening to my voice had the opportunity to short Pingu yesterday. Pretty much all day. Because it was sideways pretty much all day. Okay, so this is what I want to see. And this is the kind of reaction that I want to see. I want to see midpoint hold. I don't want to see a complete reversal. A complete reversal right back up into here. We're going to eat a stop. Because this is the emotion getter right here, this candle. It doesn't look big on my screen, right? But it's bigger than all of these candles. So now your shorts will jump in with emotion because they see this and they think, oh, if I don't get in now, I'm going to miss it. So it brings in the liquidity. And then to see this just run right back in their face. But not what I want to see here. Just like I said, I mean, it just bounces right off that 40. It's just too bullish. The very opposite of what we want to see. Yeah, it's going to run the highs. Eight hours in a row of straight fresh highs. Higher lows and higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. This hour right here is a higher low. So I'm out of the trade. I just got stopped. It is not done yet. If it is done now, I don't care. That's how I roll. I'm not doing it again. We'll try it twice. That is it. Live to fight another day. If I miss it, if it dumps all the way to zero, don't give a damn. I don't care. This thing is superbly bullish. Eventually it will top out, just not today. Going back over to Pingu, and then I'll pull up XRP on another chart here, see what it's doing. As we said, XRP could have gone either way. This was the open. This is where it was trading at the open. Fantastic shorting opportunity, and ended up working to a little bit, to an extent. It's only down 1%, so it's not a massive mover, XRP, but nonetheless, it looks like it wants to break down as your midpoint of this current 4-hour candle is right about where the 21 is. So you made a fresh low of day. If you close this candle back above the 21, then it might be a long. But as of right now, it looks like it's topped out. As it is making fresh lower highs and lower lows. That's a lower high, lower low. XRP will be threatening short side trades all the way up to 284. Oh, I need to get that off the 1 minute. I'm short fart at 0788. Nice. So you shorted on this swing. Good call. It's looking good. It's right back into September's open. You might want to think about taking profits. It's also daily demand, but it's clearly bearish. I mean, you're about to get a death cross on the daily time frame. You've already gotten the death cross on the 4 hour, and it's been trending ever since. The other day was the best place to look for the short on this. It still looks kind of inverse head and shouldery down here, so people will probably try to buy it. There's left shoulder head, right shoulder. Neckline on something like this is a break and fail. But on the next attempt will be important, not this here. It's if support holds here and it starts to go back up, this will be the important level. So 80 cents on Fartcoin. It's late week. It's Thursday. That's why you're seeing expansion today, as yesterday was the trap. You're testing the weekly open as we speak. Also, good trading, bro. It's fantastic trading. Nice expansion lower. Boom, boom, boom. That's what we wanted to see M do. It's just failing to do it. But eventually it will top out. And maybe it falls hard like TA did. But catching it, you could lose a lot of money before you actually catch it. I mean, look at that. One candle. This looks pump and dumpy to me. 30%. But you ate so many stops before you actually nailed it. With a 30% move with leverage, you should have made your money back, though, more than likely. Yeah. It could end up doing something like that. As remember, there is news on it, but it's not like huge news. It's almost, it's not even big enough to report because TradingView is not even reporting it. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're not even reporting the news. I'm going to be upset if it doesn't run highs because I pulled my stop down and got stopped out, and that's it. It's done now. Now it's going to roll over. Good trading on Fartcoin. If you're in the Pingu short from yesterday, you would definitely want to be taking profits here as we are into potential support. All right. Right into that September open. It's also 4-hour support. It is also putting in a little bit of inverse head and shoulder vibes. I like it lower. I like it much lower if the crypto markets are pretty much toast. I don't know that they are. I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying if they end up being pretty much toast, then we will have potentially caught the high of September. Right? That's your September high. That's where we're short from. So if they do roll over and continue to expand for the rest of the month, we will be nicely positioned. And there is a nice big chunk down here. If we could get that expansion lower, you can see all this price action here. So you did break under that with a 4-hour closure even. So that was a trap. So if we break back under this again, there's a really good chance that we could fall pretty far. Got a lot of open space down in here. And that was the reason we were targeting the short. The bounces are getting smaller or lower, like a ball. Eventually it's gonna blue. Maybe, right? That's what we're expecting or wanting. Not expecting, but wanting. So we'll see if it can break below here and give us downside continuation. But right now, for today, you are testing the September open for the first time since September opened. This is typically a buying opportunity. That is why I'm telling you to take profits. Because if the month of September is going to be bullish, right? If it's going to be bullish, where would you want to be long from? The open. You can't get long at the lows because the lows are already in for now. But the opportunity to get long for September is staring you right in the face. I don't know that it's going to go up in September. And we do know that historically September, August, and September are bad months for the crypto world. But it doesn't mean it will be this September. This thing can find support here. If risk markets continue to stay bullish, then it might. And they are very bullish. You made a fresh daily low and immediately reversed. This is crazy price action. Make a high of day, then go down, make a fresh low of day. That's usually a bearish signal. Now that it's running back above the highs, it's chopping traders up. Literally chopping them to pieces. VIX is pushing on lows. VIX pushing on lows. So if this rally or rotates back to lows and sets a fresh yearly low, you're going to be making fresh all-time highs on the SPOOs. What was the news? Because we did get news. I didn't even pay attention to it. It's not really important news, but it came in at 52, so they were forecasting a beat. They got a beat. That's why S&Ps are bullish. So yeah, that might stop our short here. How much time we got? 1 hour, 27 minutes. Ooh, that 30-minute don't look great. All right, so what I'll do, how I'll manage this moving on, I'm going to just watch 30-minute swings. If we start closing, not just wicking, but closing above this candle, then I will take over 2/3 of the position size off and then look to add on a spike if it does break down and give us that downside continuation. I'll wait and add on a spike next week. I'll try to catch the weekly high next week. But if it does hold here, then I don't want to see it rally right back up into my entry. Not with having $600 of unrealized gains on the board. I mean, it doesn't look like this is super bullish or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I would be able to buy it. Like, I'm not going to close my short position and buy. I don't see any reason for me to close my short and buy this, which is something that I would have done early in my trading career. Oh, it's going to bounce here. I need to get out of my short and buy it, and then give all my profits right back to the market. Not happening. The structure looks really good for downside continuation. Tesla did ultimately break below our level of support and closed below. So we have a decision to make on Tesla because we don't have a whole lot of time on that trade. We're down $33, but each day that goes on that we stay in this area, we're just losing money to theta decay. So we have a decision to make. The GLD trade is, we got plenty of time on that. So the only thing that we're worried about on GLD is if we get all the way back down into this area. If you get back down into here, then something else is going on. Because this is a fresh breakout, and fresh breakouts to all-time highs can be sustained if the dollar remains weak. If the dollar doesn't remain weak, and it is not weak today, here is the dollar. That could cause a little bit of problems. Now, we did rally up into fresh all-time highs with a strong dollar on gold. So there's that, right? So gold was rallying up even though the dollar was also. We just don't know if it's going to maintain that. And then here's what the dollar looks like on a daily. This trend line down here is a long-term trend line, coming back from like 2011. Major trend line. It's going to take quite a bit probably before it breaks down here, if it breaks down. Rate cuts should be suggested that it's going to break down, but the bonds are spiking, and that's causing a little bit of a problem. Well, yesterday they gave it back. I didn't look at them yesterday. I saw them when they were spiking. Yeah, this looks okay. This looks good. Yeah, 10-year looks good. And the 2-year is going in the right direction. The 2-year is pricing in the rate cut. 2-year is pricing in the cut. So they are expecting a cut this September. Is Bitcoin, it's above September. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so it's finding support at the 382 of last week's range. I figured there was a reason for it bouncing there. There's nothing over here that suggests a liquidation break. It's an old support zone. Yeah, for September, this is still nothing more than a higher low, guys. So Bitcoin isn't completely dead in the water here. Not in the least bit. This is your September VWAP. This is a higher low. If you're trying to buy Bitcoin, 382 or the 236 of last week's range might be areas to watch. It's not an objective price point. It's just last week's fibs. The 786 is what called resistance. If the risk markets were rolling over, I would not be even a little bit concerned with it. As far as, I'm not holding a short on Bitcoin. I'm only holding a short on Pingu. We'll see what it does. If it breaks down, I'll put the 236 back up there, but I want to see if it can get back up here. This could just be a bear trap on the day range with the risk markets pushing up, dollar pushing up, S&P's up, IWM's up. The markets are still bullish. They all look pretty close to the same. Yeah. Even Ethereum. Ethereum's an inside day. Scary for the bears. The bears are going to want to see it push, take out yesterday's low. That would make them feel a little bit more confident in their positioning. Bonk down 5%. I like the way Bonk is acting. So we were also looking to catch the short on Bonk. The problem was that it didn't give us the spike we wanted to see yesterday. That's why we attacked Pingu instead. But Bonk was actually a good trade. Andy says, in the fall of 2021, you called the end of the bull market correctly as soon as the Fed pivoted to quantitative tightening. What do you think will be the trigger this time? High inflation, high spike in jobs, like those are basically the only thing that the Fed can control, right? They can only fix high inflation or the job market. Their raising and lowering of interest rates is what controls both. So when inflation is rising, they want to raise interest rates. It was them going from a zero interest rate policy to hiking is what called the top of the last bull market. Right now, you're in a complete different market regime. We're in a rates lowering environment, not, at the lows. People are looking like I think the last dot plot said down into the threes by the end of 2027. So they're not looking to stop cutting interest rates for 2025 and through 2026. They will be continuing to cut. As long as that continues, then there's no limit to how far this rally can go. Now we are seeing a few signs that could suggest that Bitcoin is topped out, but nothing on a macro fundamental level, right? It's only technical. So if the Fed comes out, like if we see jobs start to spike above like 4.6, 4.8, 4.10, or 5, then that would probably, then something else like on a macro fundamental basis is happening, then we have to look for Bitcoin to potentially pull back. But right now, fundamentally speaking, there is no reason to even suggest that this is the top of here. It'll be supply and demand. If people still buy Bitcoin, if everybody is still, long and strong, these markets could go into all of 2026 and into 2027. Now, the 4-year market cycle theory is also got people a little bit on the nervous side or on the bounce, like we're probably done side of things. So you got a lot of bears saying that November or December will be the top. And I mean, it's totally possible. But this year changed the way 4-year market cycles will happen. Before this year, it was Bitcoin, and that was basically it. MicroStrategy, Riot, and Mara. Maybe a couple more, right? That was the only way to trade Bitcoin volatility. But now you have laws being passed where Americans can participate with 401ks in the Bitcoin space thanks to the ETFs, thanks to MicroStrategy's products. Like MicroStrategy by themselves has 5 different avenues for you to participate in Bitcoin volatility. Fundamentally speaking, I do not see a reason for the top being in. I just don't. Now, the markets are being overstretched and this and that. We are seeing some capital flows, right? I mean, this doesn't look great, but you're coming off of a 3-day rally. It's just a pullback. You're into a new month. We're 4 days in. We won't know if this is the high until the end of September. All right. But as of right now, this is your September range. So base your trading decisions on that. What is price doing for this month? As long as it's a low and you're not making a lower monthly low, you can have a bullish bias. You can have a bullish bias on Bitcoin as long as you're trading above the September open, regardless of what historical data says or suggests. Now, this doesn't look great that you find resistance one day and then the next day you're putting in a fresh low. It doesn't look great. It does look like an evening star reversal formation. Today's close will be important for Bitcoin for trades being taken tomorrow. If Bitcoin closes like down in this area, then people are going to look at this as an evening star reversal formation. And they'll probably look to attack it more to the short side. If it closes above this candle's midpoint, then it's still just a pullback, and your buy the dippers will be attacking it. I don't see a reason, like I said, I'm just trading the range. I'm not calling market cycle peaks or anything like that, not yet. Here's the XLK versus the XLP. It's not showing us anything to be worried about yet. Here's growth versus value. Coming into this week, it was looking like we were seeing people rotate from growth into value. But looking at it this week, it looks like just a simple pullback in an up market. I would, like, if we start to see growth versus value hammer to the downside, this will be worrisome. And if this stuff starts to happen, then I'll be a little bit more structured bearish on Bitcoin. Remember, coming into this week also, you were testing the weekly 21 exponential on Bitcoin. That is a buying opportunity. So we knew coming into this week that there was a good chance we could see a rally. It's the first week of a new month. You're testing the weekly 21, whole lot of things. Here is XLK versus energy. So this was starting to look a little stagflationary, right? Well, this week it doesn't really look bad. Next week, if we top out this week under this candle's open, and then next week opens and runs, then the stagflationary look will be right back on. But if this just continues to rally, it's a buy the dip. We're not really seeing the markets position themselves in any way. The gold trade, we knew in 2025 that central banks around the world were buying it. That's why it was rallying so hard for the entire year. It wasn't rallying because people were afraid of high inflation. That is just talking heads on TV saying that bull crap. This was not happening because of inflation or high inflation. This was happening because central banks were buying gold. Therefore, big investors followed suit. They did the same thing. And then it was a short squeeze. That's it. You also have the fact that the dollar itself's value is being decreased at an exponential rate, thanks to the trillions and trillions of dollars on the deficit. Like, that's another reason why gold is rallying. That's another reason why stocks are rallying. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything out there that suggests we should be short. Not heavily short. And then the last signal that I have for you to watch would be the Japanese yen. All right? You don't need to watch it every single day, but you do want to keep an eye on what it's doing. So like on days where you have big pullbacks on the S&P, if the yen isn't rallying on that same day, like the S&P red day is probably a pullback. Right? Here's your Japanese yen. This is a risk off currency. So if the markets start to fear risk off in the future, this will undoubtedly rally. It doesn't look like much, right? I get it. But here's 2025. So when did the yen rally? At the beginning of the year, right? It rallied until when? April? Did it set a high in April? It did. Yes, it did. What else happened in April? Well, risk markets across the board set in the yearly low. Your 2025 low was set in April. So markets have been rallying, yen have been coming off. So if you really want to stay ahead of the game when you're trying to put on short positions, or if you just want to take profits on your cold storage holdings or whatever, just keep an eye on those ratios and the yen, because these won't lie to you. Like, the money has to go somewhere. If they're pulling funds out of the S&P, they're going to put them elsewhere. So your bonds will rally, the yen will rally, the dollar will rally, all your safe haven stuff. Not so much the Swiss franc, because the Swiss franc has been rallying pretty much all year. This used to be looked at as a risk-off currency, but not as much as the yen. This has just been strong all year. So this right here's had some investors on the, something just don't feel right. Well, a lot of things don't feel right. A lot of things don't feel right. But yeah, I'm not seeing the wheels fall off of anything, and that's what you need to see before you can start getting bearish. A good rule of thumb is to just watch weekly 21 exponentials. If you can keep that in the back of your mind, like when everybody's afraid on Twitter and social media and you're seeing people say a top is in, this and that stuff, just close all of your lines, right? Pull it up on a weekly and just look at where is price in relation to the 21 exponential. That will give you a pretty good idea as to what is going on. So over here, this is when we hit bear market territory on risk. We set the low of the year. What has it done since? It's rallied. When was the last time Bitcoin experienced a rally? Well, after a multi-week pullback. What do we got now? We rallied, went into sideways consolidation for 4 weeks, and in the last 3 weeks we had a multi-week pullback. Nothing fancy and nothing crazy. Look at the size of these two bearish candles. When something is wrong, that's what you will see. Not this. Not this. This is a slow move. This is a pullback into potential support. It might take 2 to 3 weeks for it to trade up out of this area. But if it does start to, then you have to be like, well, the overall rally is still intact. You haven't broken it. You haven't broken an uptrend here. There are a couple trend lines that have been broken, like this one. That trend line's been broken, but that's a pretty parabolic trend line. Just looking at April's low and then this low, yeah, you've broken that, but that's pretty damn straight up, right? So this was bound to get broke even if price traded sideways for 5-6 weeks. You will break that. It's the longer term stuff is still in play. The longer term stuff is still in play. It doesn't look great today, but it's not even testing September. September's opens back down here. So on a technical basis, Bitcoin could literally pull all the way back to 108 and still look okay. You're not under the weekly 21. And that's what I watch. So once assets start breaking and taking out the 21, then I start to get more heavily bearish. As far as putting on risk, or puts, you want to do that when the VIX is low. For your long-term S&P holds or your 401k protection, you want to do that when the VIX is low, not when the VIX is up. Wait for the VIX to get under 14 again and then look to start putting on puts. Just make sure you understand that there's a massive possibility of you losing the entirety of that premium. And then ultimately, the odds of having 2 bear markets in 1 year are so low. The odds are 3 to 5% that you can experience 2 bear markets inside of 1 year. We experienced a bear market on Bitcoin and the ES already this year, back in April. The odds of that happening again are astronomically low. Not many professional money managers are going to be placing bets to that effect. Let me see what's going on over here. Okay, so C. Martin says it looks reversal-ish top on gold miners. Let me pull up some gold miners here. That doesn't look like a reversal on gold for me, not yet. I mean, clearly, you just broke out. This is a pullback. Yeah, you took out yesterday's low, but you're not trading under yesterday's low. It's not a bearish engulfing. If you look at this on a weekly, you're still at the high of the week. That's not a reversal. A reversal would be a bearish engulfing or something like that. Even that wasn't. But still, you get what I'm saying. You're way up on highs. But let's go look at the 2 gold miners that I pay attention to. The ticker AU, Anglo Gold Ashanti. This trades really good with gold. So it makes sense that we did put in a breakout up here. And I agree with you. Yeah, that does look like an island top reversal. It does. But I mean, it could still be a pullback. It's not over yet. You put in one back here too, and it pulled back roughly the midpoint of that expansion. And that's where it found support. So until you're taking out the midpoint of this expansion, you can't really call this a top. Not just yet. There's no reason you can't try to trade it to the downside, but and the weekly looks a little bit different than gold itself does, as you're negative on the week. So yeah, it is a little bit more volatile, and you have rejected highs. That's on Anglo Ashanti. We go look at AEM, which is the second one. Eagle. It still looks okay. It still looks okay. So I wouldn't get too bearish on this. Not yet. This is September's open here. But since it's September's open, I mean, you could just be literally running to make a fresh low and then right back up. Could be. That might not be what's going on. I mean, you're still up here. If this holds a support, like, this would be a trap, right? A bear trap. If you break down today and you start trading like under 55.50, then there's a possibility that the very near term might be topping out. Yeah, I mean, this will more than likely do whatever gold does. If gold continues to rally, this will too. More than likely. And then the AEM doesn't even look bad yet. Like, AEM is still just a standard pullback. You bounced off of the September open. It's not a great look. It looks weak. September's low on AEM, Eagle, 142.93. So remember, even then, it won't be bad if it trades back up into the range. So I'm not sure which one of these you're on or looking at. These are the two that I focus on. But if you break down and make a fresh low and then continue, then yeah, you can say there's a really good chance you might have topped out here on the near term. However, if you do this, then there's a chance it continues. You just basically made a fresh monthly low and that was it. It don't look terrible. I wouldn't be going balls deep in a short on this, not yet. Dailies, when you start breaking below the 21, yeah, you got a long way to go. This could be a pullback. It's just a return to the mean type of scenario right now. You got a little bit extended here when you tested the 21 and then broke to the upside. Boom. You've gotten a little bit carried away, so it's just pulling back. Reversion. Price likes to revert. The dollar has been very, very choppy lately, and that's basically what put gold into that symmetrical triangle, was a choppy ass dollar. But there's no doubt about it. This thing has broke out to the upside. There are gaps to fill under. Whether or not it comes down and does that, that's neither here nor there. Now, the pre-market data breakout is 322. The daily breakout, which is all anyone really cares about, is 317. This is a fresh breakout of a very bullish pattern. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Boom. This could run even back here when you broke out. You had days where you pulled back. You pulled back not long after breaking out here. Damn it. So yeah, breakout, couple weeks, then you pulled back pretty heavily, like you even took out the 21. This breakout is much stronger. So I want to hold long. I'm going to hold that long position until either A, my target gets me, or we get back inside the breakout. Because once that happens, then you can say, well, it's a false break. You can't call this a false break yet. Not yet. And the dollar's just trading crazy sideways. Crazy sideways. Like, you can't even look at this thing on a daily. August's range pulled back to the 618 of July. September liquidated August's low and then retreated back into the range. Choppy sideways price action. Right there's that liquidation of August's low. And then up it goes on the September open. So here's the thing. August's high is way up here. And this is a sideways range. It's not a monthly range. It would be probably a few weeks. Yeah, it's just a weekly range. So since we liquidated August's low and now we're pushing back up to weekly res, I would say it is probably wanting to come back up into this. Let's see what happens when the dollar gets up to June's high. As there's the 21. If we get up in there, we could look for shorts on the dollar. And then clearly the next area, if we get stopped out of that trade, to look for shorts on the dollar would be 100 above August's high. But either way, either here or up here, I do have a bearish dollar bias. Just maybe not down here. Right? So that's why your dollar is chopping. You don't have any really strong bears down here. They're all like, it's in the support, I'm getting out. Boom. And then, yeah, the buyers take back over. The sellers were hitting it at resistance for the last 3 weeks. Last week was an inside week. This week, you got one more day. Tomorrow, guys, in FP. Tomorrow. So we could be testing June's open tomorrow. We probably should have bought it. Once we got back above this week's high, we probably should have bought the dollar. I just wasn't paying attention to it. I had other things that I was monitoring. But knowing this week is NFP, we should have probably been like, let's see what happens when if we liquidate and then get back in there. You got back in there on Tuesday. That happened during London, so there wasn't really anything we could have done. So the London session on Tuesday basically said, boom, gave you your whole week's range, literally on Tuesday, and then you've done nothing since. Today's Thursday, so here we are. You're seeing upside continuation. So they bought support. Where do you think the target is? Right there. I don't know if it'll get there, but so the way to trade that would be to short the euro. Tomorrow's NFP though. So tomorrow's going to be very important. That's why I have it outlined on Bitcoin. Like, very important. Tomorrow's NFP. You can give all of this back tomorrow. Whatever happens today on Bitcoin, you can get it all back tomorrow. The best way to trade for that also would be, like, if Bitcoin trades sideways for the rest of the day, today, it doesn't look like it wants to because it's trending. But if it does, like, start trading sideways for the rest of the day, wait until this Friday candle opens at 8 p.m., which is right here, 8 p.m., and see if you run below the low, today's low, and then go back inside today. If it does, you could be a buyer right there at today's low. And then if it trades away, like back up, going into NFP tomorrow, there's a really good chance that it's wanting to go higher. And that today will just be a bear trap. It's real early in the month. Now, if you continue to push on lows all day today, and you trend like all the way down to where we looked for that liquidity, like 108.8 down into here, that's going to look pretty bad. That'll look pretty bad. It won't look terrible, but it definitely won't look great. This piece of garbage is still going up. Damn it, dude. I'm glad I stopped trying to short that thing. This is where I got stopped the last time. This thing has went on up to 150 almost. Holy cow, bro. This is up almost 50% today. This is up 46%. 53% to the highs. One day. Damn. What is up? That just looks so good for a short though. 10 hours in a row of just straight up, but I don't love it, man. Still not big volume up here. What is going on? What is going on with this? It's so crazy because there's literally no news on it. Like, nothing major. And this rally is being sustained. Insane. You are a trading prophet, my dear mentor. I wouldn't go that far. Come on, I'm just another guy, man. Just another trader. I analyze price. That's all I do. I'm looking at price, looking for signals, looking for trends. That 4-hour candle looks brutal on Bitcoin. I ain't gonna lie. I like it. I mean, it's looking good. The September mid, or the September volume weighted average price is at the mid, so there's a lot of people always trying to buy Bitcoin at 4-hour support. Clearly, they ate a stop. There's not even, it's too early to even try to get a trend line for September. But arguably you would be able to say that it has broken it. Well, not really, because of that stupid wick there. Is that, so that's not even a daily low. Oh yeah, if you just go by those 2 days, yeah, you busted the trend line. For September. Yeah, it doesn't look great. But that's why we're shorting other things like Pingu, because if that cuts loose, it's gonna pay us. It's gonna pay us big too. If you could top this out, like find out where the top is, unfortunately that's impossible to do. There's no technical indicators that suggest you can even find a top. I mean, these are okay, but this could pay you if it were to run. It's up almost 50%. You got a new 4-hour candle coming up soon. Holy cow, dude. Wait, what's going on? This 4-hour chart looks completely different than this one. Look at the difference. When look at this 4-hour candle. You're at the highs. Look at the 4-hour candle up here. You're red. Oh, that's a 30-minute. Never mind. Sorry. There. That looks better. I forgot. I was looking at a 30-minute earlier. Usually this is always a 4-hour chart. So when I look up there and I seen that, I was like, what? Why does that look so terrible? No, that looks right. There you go. Never mind. Forget what I said. Forget about it. XRP still only down 9% or 0.9%, so it hasn't broken down yet. But if you shorted XRP at the open, you might want to hang on to it because some of these are starting to look pretty bad. Pingu's down 6%, Bonk's down 6%, Fartcoin down 6%, Jasmy down 5%, LPT down almost 8%. Yeah. So have we topped out here on M? I would love to see it like reject off of this level right here and prove it and then just dump, right? That would be beautiful. Like prove to me that they're shorting that. It looks like they are. There's a spike of volume right there. But ooh, it's still so risky. Still so risky. But if this thing cuts loose, it's gonna give it all back. A 50% run. Be some money. I just am so, I mean, it's just so crazy to me that this strength, this rally was sustained on hardly no news. That strong. Because this was almost strong, just as strong as Kronos was the other day. And Kronos is down also. Remember how strong Kronos was the other day? It was doing that many hourly candles in a row. It was just having really big moves up. Sustained rally on good news. The fact that M has sustained its rally on really nothing just boggles my mind. It's a 50% rally today. Just boggles the mind. So if you're one like this fib, I just took it from the monthly. Or no, I didn't. I took it from the daily. But it's just the low, high, low. You just pull up your fib retracement, or not retracement, extension, low, high, low. And that'll give you these fibs. I don't know that that's what anybody's looking at. There might be other exchanges that have more data. Doesn't look like it. It looks about the same. Yeah, looks about the same. With the 1414. A pretty nice little chunk of change up there. Chunk of volume. So I said the measured move could be up to like 125. It was 124.9. Let's just call that 125. That's close enough. That's what the measured move could have been. And it's like went up to like a whole nother measured move. So this is like a 3x move today. So I'm assuming some people are going to try to short it for a reversion trade back down to one standard measured move, to a 1 deviation range. All right, let me see here. What are your thoughts on Chinese stocks like Baba? Okay, I have them. Let me see. So here's FXI. This is your iShares China Large Cap ETF. It looks okay. It's a very slow mover. This looks similar to Tesla. Maybe not. No, it's been trending. Yeah, it set the lows in April as well. You've made a higher high and a higher low each month. So it looks good. You're testing the midpoint of August right now. Today. So the way that I would like, it's today, it's below the 21. So it would be hard pressed for me to buy the 50, the midpoint, just based on it being August's midpoint. But at the same time, it is a buying op. It's a buying opportunity. Or you could sell puts, right? You could do a cash secured put position down at like 37.28, because that's the lowest you would want to see it go to. So like you could say the uptrend is still intact as long as you trade down to in reverse from here. If you did something like this, right, you would want to see that area act as like the last line of support. Otherwise, August's open and low is going to come into question. But you could, the safe trade would be to like wait till you get back up above the 21 and then maybe look to be a buyer then, risking this day's low. That's one way you could do it. There probably isn't much premium on a $37 strike put on the FXI. Let me look. Give me 1 second here. We pull up FXI. We'll see what kind of premiums we got on it. I know it's a very light, very light. It's heavily traded. It's just, it doesn't move a lot. So you would have to go way out, like 36 days even. And then that's a 37.20. There's 50 cents on it. Not terrible. You can sell the 37 strike. And then if it gets down there, you could take the fill. Because that would be a better place to be a buyer. But I mean, I don't see why they would, unless some Chinese news comes out that would heavily affect it. I don't see why the rally can't continue. I know their housing isn't doing good. There's a couple YouTube channels that talk a lot about Chinese economics and a lot of the like business basics or business, I think it's business basics, the YouTube channel. They're always talking about how China's not doing good at all. But if you look at the stock market, that's not right. And BABA's going to look very similar to this, except a little bit more volatile. Yeah, it's a lot more volatile. There you go. April's lows, and it's rallied pretty much ever since, but there for 2 months after April, it was a little bit iffy. It was touch and go. But yeah, you're just barely pulling back right now. You didn't make fresh yearly highs, so this trend might not even be over. Your year high is right there. So, yeah, I mean, this could potentially be a buying op. You broke above support. So for this one, for BABA, for sure, I don't want to see it push under 126.38. So if it continues to pull back, if it could hold support right here, I could buy a BABA or sell cash secured puts on BABA based solely on the year high would be my target. There's only 4 more months on the year, so you got 1 whole quarter, 1 month and 1 whole quarter left. October starts Q3. And you're trading under September's open right now. So right now you're in the process of setting September's low. This is not going to be a monthly swing. That will be a weekly swing. So as long as you're under the open, this could be the downside target. Or it could be looking to pull back to here, the midpoint. So if you're trading under that, which that isn't even a weekly swing, it's just a daily swing. So that might not even be that important. I wouldn't even worry about this. If you break under it, watch a retest of 126.38. And if that acts as support, like this did, boom, boom, 1-2 days, You could be a buyer on the second day. Just understand that you could gap down the next day, but it's still the level to be a buyer at. If you expect upside continuation in September. If you expect upside continuation in September, then this is where I would like to attack BABA. And I will keep this on watch. I need to set an alert though, to let me know when it gets down there, because this will be a tradable move. But it looks okay. Yeah, you're not in 1 month range. You're in a multi-month range. So you're going to be in a quarterly range here. Okay, so you're trading inside last quarter's range. There's really, yeah, I mean, as long as you're under that quarterly swing, it's a tricky proposition. Let me see something. Where did that quarter go? Wow, that quarterly high is September's open. That's pretty cool. Your September candle opened right on that Q3 swing high. That's your Q3 swing high right there. I mean Q2, sorry. And you pretty much opened right on it. So that's, yeah, you could arguably like maybe wait till it gaps back up above 134.47 and then look to buy like a 139 strike, sell a 144 or something like that. Like way out in time. Because if it gaps back above that, then you are trending. So under the swing high, you're not trending. You're pulling back. You're pulling back into the range. So first thing you got to wait on is a support test and hold. If you get that, wherever you get that, if it happens soon, like maybe it happens before you get down here, then you could just wait for a gap back above September's open and put that position on. Because at that point, you're breaking out. You're trending. You're not breaking out. You're trending. Be a gap up and say you open. Shit, I did not mean to move that. Say tomorrow you gap up because of NFP, right? So you don't want to do it today. You got NFP tomorrow. So say the market opens tomorrow here. You could either wait for a slight dip back under Sept open or just immediately put on a spread trade from like here to here. You'd want to buy this strike, sell that strike. Because once you get back above this point, you are back to trending. And then I would expect an expansion up. Something like that. So we're going to put this on watch. Like literally. I don't have BABA. Okay. Well, I'll add it. I have to have BABA on this chart, on this watch list. I didn't. Wow. Well, I do now. Boom. Yeah, BABA is going to be a watch for me tomorrow. Because we're gapping back above the September open tomorrow morning. I'm going to put on that position myself. Yup. They look okay. I mean, I don't follow, like I said, I don't follow China's a news cycle that evolves around what happens in China. But as long as nothing major happens, I don't see why the rally can't continue. It's looking pretty good for the year 2025. You're trading closer to the yearly highs than you are the yearly lows, and that's always a good thing. And you're trading well above the yearly open. So it definitely looks like there's a lot of demand in this stock. There's a lot of demand in this stock up above 113. What's the other one? I know FXC and I know BABA. There's another one. I know it. It's JD.com. Yeah, JD. JD.com. So this one doesn't look great. This one's actually bearish on the year. Isn't JD.com a Chinese stock? I thought this was a Chinese stock. I might be wrong. Let me ask Grok or Google. NTES JD.com. Yeah, I was right. TME 10 cent. TME, that's another one. Wow, it's doing really good. So JD just not doing good. 10 cent and the rest of them doing pretty damn good. So since we've looked at FXI, I'm looking real quick. Give me 1 second. There's another one that's K-Web, right? But it's literally a cheaper version of FXI. Pretty much. Let me put it up there. Next to FXI. There it is. Yeah, so K-Web is just a little bit cheaper than FXI, and it looks identical. Pretty much. It's still up on the month, but just barely. So yeah, I mean, you got a few different ones you can trade. KFX, K-Web, FXI, BABA, JD.com. And then the last one I just looked at that I forgot already. 10 cent. Shit. What was it? TES. My brain just isn't what it used to be. TME. I want to add that too. But it looks really good. It looks really good. That thing has been just absolutely skyrocketing all year long. I wouldn't be participating in this right now. Right? It's just been pamping. Pamping. All right, going back over here. Whatever happened to our good buddy, the M crypto? Nothing. It's right where it was earlier. Oh, so it did have a pretty decent correction here, and then boom, right back up. So like this would have had me licking my chops to enter shorts, because that's like the first time it broke under the 200 on the 1 minute chart. Oh, no, it ain't. It broke under here. Yeah, people are just buying this thing, dude. Not done. Doesn't look to be done at all. This thing is crazy. Ugh. You ain't just any kind of trader. I've consistently followed you for almost 5 years now. Oh, damn. Nice. Let's go see what Vivek's real status says. It's happening. Tighten your seatbelts. What's happening? When was this? September 3rd. That was yesterday. Dollar heart attack. 12 trillion Fed crisis predicted to drive Bitcoin to a $2 million price. Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, Bitcoin's getting beat up today pretty good. Dominance hasn't really been supporting bearish cryptos today yet. Bonk's getting crushed. Look at Dominance. Dominance has been sideways all day. So why is Dominance sideways? Ethereum's down 3%. That should have Dominance moving up. Was there big volume on that swing low? I don't have volume on this chart. What? Look at this. What are these people doing? They bought the dip. Oh, lordy. I think if you got under this swing low right through here, I think you could probably say this is going to pull back a little bit. You know what I mean? Until then, I think you have to leave this alone. This is a very unreadable chart. Heavy volume. The heaviest you saw all day. Pretty much like in one whack, right? In 4 minutes. Huge spike of volume. Did it lose the 200 on the 5 minute? Right through here it did. So maybe wait for something like that to happen, and then maybe look to capitalize on a short. Give it time. Let it trade sideways or whatever. Let it get crushed underneath this swing low, and then see if it starts to chop sideways. Let those moving averages structure change. Because you haven't changed structure yet. You were working on that on the 1 minute. Did it change structure on the 30 second? Not that it matters, because it did. Oh, wow. Yeah. You could probably try it now, a short last, if you've not tried it yet. stop goes right here. You're not even going to give this thing the benefit of the doubt. Stop right there. And that's only because you did, in fact, get that 50 under that 200 there briefly. Right through here. Now it crossed back to the upside, so people are going to look at that as a golden cross. But that's like, yeah. Entry, stop. And then I'll pray for you. You know what I mean? Because this thing is so freaking crazy. There you go. Crazy beans. Yeah, if you get under this low right here, I think those people will be toast. You change the structure around right through there. Now, whether or not that stays like that in the future, see, through here you didn't get that cross. You just never got it. Let's get rid of that red one because that is irrelevant. I don't care about the simples because the exponentials put more weight on the near-term price. I just want to see when the last time you changed structure and how long that lasted. Right through here. So, same scenario, right? I'm only focusing on the structure change. So get rid of this. Get rid of this. Let's brighten these up for a split second. Not too bright. Just a little bit. So this is what I'm looking at here. So it's still going up. Still. Oh, get rid of that. And volume. We don't need volume either. Going up, still going up, still going up, right? And then you change structure right there. So finally, right here, that's your signal that things could be changing right there. That 50 dips right under the 200 for a split second. And then you get the rally. And it falls back in line. Now the 50's back above the 200, but slowly. So how long, if you shorted this in this area, how long did it go? Not long and not far. Didn't go far at all. You would have got about a 5% move out of it. Not that great. You would have had to exit on that. That big pop. Yeah, see, you're right now changing structure again. Good stuff. Let's see what it does here. Finally. Give me a chance to make my $60 back, bro. What's the matter with you? Dominance is also pushing up, so that could help us. Here we go. Come on, baby. Give it to us. Forbes. Yeah, Forbes. That would be cool. I could get down with a $2 million Bitcoin. I'd like it. I'd love it. That's a pretty big spike there. Let's see if the sellers are here. They're going to want to defend down here. Pingu down 6.4%. ENA down 7%, TA down 11. At one point, TA was down 12. So looks like things are. Oh, Bitcoin isn't bouncing. It's still down on the lows. The VIX is down on daily lows too. So Pingu is straight just been getting murked, which is good because we're short. Look at how many of these bearish candles in a row we got. Sideways consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. That's a pretty good trade. I like it. This thing's going back up. Untradeable. Too volatile. The market makers are listening to us. Gotta love it. That's the first time you've done that all day, so I said, what the hell, right? Well, all morning. It's the first time you've done that all morning. Yeah, 2:30, 3 o'clock. London came in, bought it up, and you never ever seen that cross, that structure change. Until right here. They tried to stop it, didn't they? They were like, no, don't let it cross. Don't let it cross. But it crossed. Come on, man. Drop for us. We got 10 minutes till we got to end the stream. You got to get down here in 10 minutes, bro. 10 minutes. That gives you 20 30-second candles, or I guess make a fresh high and just call it. I just smoke everybody again. Now, this is a very fast chart, right? You didn't do that on the 1 minute. 30 seconds, very fast. 1 minute was a long time ago when you had a structure change. And that did not last for long. So you have not done that yet. You're probably going to set into a range here. Here's your range moving forward. Or the day. Or not the day, just maybe when the volume cools off, you'll be able to do a few of these little reversion trades. CCI still looks okay. So you did hit overbought here on the 1 minute, and they hit it up. They hit it up. But that was the biggest spike of volume you got all day. Or all morning, I should say. No, it is. It's literally it is all day. So the biggest volume all day came right at 11 a.m. Is that the London close? I bet it is. Or it's close to the London close. I don't care about the London close. When it starts to get around noon, it's pretty much, it's slow until 2-ish. But you didn't even get to the range. So that's the 4-hour candle open, dude. Like, you couldn't even retest the open of this 4-hour candle. Like, that is strong. We can't do the close yet because we don't have a close, but when you do get a close in 6 minutes, when we get a close in 6 minutes, you will have a new line to strike. And then you can just watch these areas for your reversions trades get oversold at the open. You could be a potential buyer for a quick scalp. That is, of course, unless the sellers just puke it like they did on the other ones. But they haven't done that yet, so that's why I'm like, I just don't trust the shorts when they can't do. When the shorts are here, when you've exhausted demand in a cryptocurrency, it does not take long for you to see that on the chart. At all. Like, boom. They hammered that like crazy. Yeah, that exhausted everybody there. That one pretty much smoked them all. It just instantly went right back within 10 minutes, right back to the 21. Whereas it spent many minutes grinding straight lines. 21 test, boom. First 21 test, a no-go. Second, boom. Then it came all the way down quickly. And then here it was just smoked. Is this today's open or yesterday? Yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. That's yesterday's VWAP too. No, it ain't. Yeah, it is. No, it ain't. That's today. So maybe you could watch today if you're still looking or interested in TA on TA, not technical analysis, but this asset is TA Tether. If it holds its resistance up here at 146-ish, I don't know. This thing's crazy. It's just as crazy as the M asset is. Super crazy. Gotta be made of stone. 4 minutes. Come on, give it to us. Puke. Puke. Let's go. Give us our $90 back. You took from us earlier, you thieving bastard. Watch your language. There might be kids in the room. I don't care. It stole my money. I want it back. Close below the midpoint will look okay. It won't be like full-on weakness, but that might help to pull in some sellers. The sellers that have been sitting on the sidelines, waiting for a signal. You know, the pros. Come on, baby. Give it to daddy. You know you want to. So where's take profit exactly? 12778. Oh, that's not even the same prices. We got 1333. Oh, it is pretty close to the same. 1329. Yeah, it's pretty close. This is the 618 of the 4-hour retracement, not the day, just the last 4-hour candle. Swing high to swing, or swing low to swing high. Like, you mean to tell me that people are buying that? Oh man, I don't want to do it, but I will if I have to. Yeah, the prices aren't the same. Yeah, I don't think the sellers are jumping on it just yet, guys. Or it's not ready to go down yet. I was hoping it would give us a big volatile swing lower like TA did. There's just, I guess, too much liquidity in it. To be fair, it's not hitting profit target. Come on, do it. Give us our money back. We got a new close. So there's the noon. And you did close under. I don't know if that'll have any meaning, but you do got a new 4-hour. So you do at least have another objective price point to keep an eye on. You hit oversold here. That's a 30-second though. Get off the 30-second, crackhead. Yeah. You didn't hit oversold yet on the 1 minute. And you do have people literally buying the 618 of the 4-hour. Look at the volume increase when it got there. Here's the 618. I know this fib is screwing you up, but here you go. There's the 618. Look at that wick. And then notice the volume spike. Come on, biatch. Does that take profit? Partial position. What, like, no. It'd have to be like 160. 75% of the position would give us how much money? Oh, yeah, it would give us all of our money back plus more. Well, then that's what we're gonna do. Confirm and send. So there we are. Confirm and send. But we lost $90 on this piece of garbage today. But once we got a signal that we could actually work on, we're gonna get our money back. There it is. We got our $90 back. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. You thought you were too slick for the trade talk, huh? Got my $90 back and more. I didn't know that was gonna happen though, clearly. I've been watching these charts for a long time though. That was a pretty slick. They tried to stop it. I'm not even joking. They wanted to stop it. That's why I was like, ooh. we can go for it here. Look at that. It was coming down, coming down, coming down. Then they were like, whoa, 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 don't let that. Don't let that cross. Don't let that cross. Oh, it crossed. Damn it. And that brought the scalpers in. Bam. Bam. They look for any signal, man. Those algos, you would be surprised how easy some people have algos set up in this trading world. Like I said, you've seen the volume kick up on that literal 618 test. The volume gave you a little spike. I don't think anybody would be that crazy, but whatever. Maybe. So that's about all I'm gonna do with it. Stop, set the break even, and I got $50 left on the position. If it wants to tumble back down from the depths of which it came, we'll let it. If it stops me, I don't care. I lost $90 on this thing today. We just made $222. So I got my $90 back plus a few extra dollars. And we're doing good still on the, like I said, still on this. I mean, that looks pretty damn pretty. Liking that. That trade was something of glorious. But it was done yesterday. It was done a little bit later. We couldn't get it on for the live stream, for the members only live stream. We tried to get it on. I actually had to chase it once down here at the close, and then ended up getting stopped out on this spike. So I got filled. Monitoring this candle's closure, and I ended up having to chase it because it took a dump yesterday. Where was that? It just like started to fall right through here, so I had to chase it. And let me mark that 4 hour for you so you know exactly what I was looking at, and then we'll wrap this up. But I was looking at that. So when we were doing the live stream yesterday, I ended up having to chase this thing because it just took a dump on us. And I got filled like right in here. So on this push, it got me. It got me. And then I just said, well, you know what? I'll put it on again. I put my stop just above this swing high, and then if it gets me again, I'll look or think about something differently. And it didn't. It never came back. It almost came back late yesterday evening, but after that, it was done. Shit. Is the garbage out, babe? I guess. I think so. But anyways, yeah, that looks pretty good. So we got that on. And then that M trade will do whatever it wants to do for the rest of the day. I don't care. I'm done with it. This thing is just crazy. It's being absolutely maniacal. But right here, if it was overbought, it's not. If you could get you get a higher time frame cross, it's going to be even heavier. It'll make price a little bit heavier because they'll be seeing these dips. It's not making higher highs, and that'll give sellers a little bit more oomph to come in here. And the fact that it's staying so far up on the highs, like if you look at this still on a 4 hour, it's not terrible. to be a buyer. I mean, this candle just got started, so any dips, as long as it's not pushing beyond this point under it, you'd be surprised how many people will buy that. I mean, just look at all of them, right? So go back in time, bar replay this stuff, guys. If you're done trading for the day or whatever, and you've got time, bar replay this stuff. Look at this 4-hour candle. We don't need any of this. We'll take you. Now, this candle closed under the midpoint. Midpoint would have been roughly about $1. $99.87. So rounded up, it's $1. But on the next open, as long as you're not trading under this point, then this expansion is still intact. Because this is the expansion. This candle did not break out. It tried to break out as your wick went well above, but the close was under resistance. So this is the first expansion candle. So buyers look at this, traders like myself, and we'll tell ourselves, if it fails to trade under this spot, I can buy it. There was a point in which it comes down into here. Let me speed it up. So you're focusing on 86.5. This is the area to be a buyer as long as price doesn't break through it. So this is a new candle, so I guess it never did. I thought it did at one point. So now you're out on a new day. That's a whole new day. I thought I saw a wick. That's the reason I even brought that up. Oh no, it didn't. Oh, I thought this was a wick under it. I thought it wicked all the way down into here and then retraced. It didn't. It didn't even do that. And then here we are. But anyways, the same thing will go for this. Like, support. Support. And they buy it. Support now is all the way down here, but if you lose this, it won't look as strong. So just, if this wick for this entire next 4-hour period, you've got 4 hours. If you can't get under this, people will buy it. I don't know that they'll make money, but they will try. They will try. It's looking a little bit weak now, or weaker. A lot of people will be keeping this on watch all day. This thing is still up 34% on the day. Like, what? It is on weeks the leading crypto. Here. If I pull this up, and they have a ton of assets on this exchange. So we want to look at the weakest, right? Right now, WLFI USDT, that's your weakest one on the day. So that's your super weak piece of trash. Shorts are all over this thing today. Look at them. They're killing it. They started right here. Down big. So if you just go to what's the leader, M. So it's literally the leader on the day. Oh, it's up the most on this entire exchange. So anybody that's trading on weeks, they're watching this one and that other one because those are your leaders and laggards. Those are the two pairs or the two assets that most everybody's trading. Any momentum traders, that is. Momentum scalpers. And momentum scalpers, let's be clear, them guys really love momentum. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled. It could be a big mover in either direction still. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you all trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.